Okay, we're in downtown Toronto with Jesse, aka Scumfrog. He's in for the evening, and then you're flying out, I believe. Where are you off to in the next few days?
I'm going to Russia for my big tour over there. It's actually a small tour, but Russia and Poland on Wednesday.
You just released a brand new CD. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's called Simmer. It's got 10 original tracks that I wrote and produced and played most of the instruments on. And it's been a long time in the making because the past years I've been really busy remixing for other people and then producing for other people. So in between those projects, I used to do my own songs, and last year I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what, I got to finish the project and really make it into an album. So it's done. It's 10 brand new songs, even though it's got Music Revolution on there from last year. But apart from that, it's got the Simmer, which was a big record over the past summer, and the new single Come On, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
You got your break about 15 years ago in a kind of a strange location where you had your first number one hit. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Actually, it was my first top 10 hit. It was in South Africa. The very first Scumfrog record that I made was the Water Song. Actually, it became known as the Water Song, but the Water Song was actually a B-side, and the A-side of that record went by completely unnoticed everywhere in the world, as it should have been. But in South Africa, for some reason, they loved that record, and it became a pop record there.
How did you get started in production and DJing?
I've always been a musician. I've always played in bands. I play guitar, bass, percussion, and at the end of the 80s, when Acid House became really big, I became a DJ, and I was much more attracted to the whole electronic sound revolution, really, than the band scene. So I quit my band, and I decided, you know what, I wanna be a DJ, and I wanna also, give it a go to make that kind of music. So I slowly started to get into producing that kind of music, and discovered actually how hard it was, because everybody can program a kick drum, but to make a kick drum sound really fat is a completely different story. So it took me a couple of years to figure it out, and I worked with some amazing people in that time period, like engineers and producers, who showed me the way to make things sound really good. And then after a while, like in the late 90s, I could finally do it on my own, and I did.
You're known for your remixes of late, a lot of kickin' tracks. What do you look for in a song when you go to remix it?
The song needs to appeal to me, or at least the vocals of the song need to appeal to me. Even if the song itself, even if the track is not what I like, if I really like the vocals, if the vocals really speak to me, then I say like, okay, let me just grab those vocals and make a new track under it. And then there's of course I can admit that there's also the remixes that you do because they just give you a huge appeal. Like if Britney Spears asks you to remix her, your first impulse is sure, and secondly, you're going to listen to the song and see what you can make of it. But it's not necessarily that you're going to tell Britney Spears' people, well, send me the song first. I gotta, of course you're going to do that. So there's ulterior motives there. But mainly, if it's an unknown artist or a not so known artist, you just listen to the song and you go like, okay, is there anything that I could add to that?
If you had the chance to work with or remix someone, who would it be?
It's pretty tough because it always was David Bowie, and then I did David Bowie, and it was such a great project that like my dream right now is to expand on that and to actually produce a record together with Bowie. I don't think I have a lot of remaining wishes for remixes of other people, but I definitely have a list of people I would love to produce a record with. Like I'd love to produce a record with Tom Waits. Tom Waits with a kick drum, I think would sound phenomenal. Lou Reed in a club production would sound great. But it's one thing to just take an old Lou Reed record and remix it. It's the next challenge to take him into the studio and introduce him to that feel and make something from scratch. So that's the next thing.
You have support from all over the world, far from home and very close from home. Your parents are a big thing of that, or your mom and her boyfriend. Can you tell us a little bit how that comes into play?
Well, how it comes into play is that whenever my parents have a chance to come to a gig, they do. They're extremely supportive, and they love checking out the scene. Even if it means like being out until 3, 4 in the morning, they'll just make a big adventure out of it. They completely dress up like a night at the opera, but they'll go to a club. And I don't play, weirdly enough, I don't play in Holland that much, but I play in London a lot. So they fly up to London. They've done that 3 times now, and actually 2 out of those 3 times was at the Club The End in London. And the second time that they were there, they already got recognized by some of our fans, like, oh, there's Scumfrog's parents. And people go up to them and start talking to them and make a little conversation, and they love it. They're completely loving it.
Your new album is out soon, or has it been released?
The album came out in the U.S. In the middle of October, and we're working on licenses now for different parts of the world. So you can definitely easily get it online at the obvious online outlets like Amazon, and you can also get it on CD at like import record stores.
And what's the next big tune off of that album?
The next big tune is a single we're about to release. It has a phenomenal remix by Merck on it, and the original version is on the album, both in the album version and the club version. It's called Come On.
Excellent. You're off to an early morning party, a really, really, really late party. Just quickly, can you touch on what Toronto's done for you?
Toronto is one of the rare cities where every time I've played here so far, it was great. Even though it was in a different way, because I've played at System Sound Bar and at BOA and at Government, and this time at a completely different place. And every time it's bringing something special. And the fact that my set right now is between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon already brings the promise of another great night, or day, actually.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Quickly, before you could go, if I could get you to do, hey, this is Scumfrog and you're listening to Amplified Radio. One with your new, this is my latest track on Amplified Radio as well.
Hi, this is the Scumfrog. You're listening to Amplified Radio. Hi, this is the Scumfrog and you're listening to Amplified Radio. You're listening to Amplified Radio. This is the Scumfrog, and it's my new single, Come On.
Excellent. And actually, just for my girlfriend, if you could say, hey, this is Scumfrog and you're listening to a Mel Love song, going out to Courtney.
Hi, Courtney. This is the Scumfrog and you're listening to Amy L. Love Song.